Good evening, kinfolk. It is 8:22. It is August 22nd. That's what I meant to say. It's actually 8:55 p.m. as I record this. If you've been following the news or you've been on social media for the past couple of weeks, then no doubt you probably heard about the tale of Michael Grabowski. He was a 5-year-old boy who was shot to death while riding his bicycle. Thankfully, they caught the bottom-feeding piece of shit after a 24-hour manhunt. He's been in jail without any bail, and he'll be lucky, and he'll likely be convicted, and he'll be lucky if he ends up getting life in prison. Now, normally that should be it right there. I mean, as tragic as it sounds. Now, first of all, I'm not here to make light of the murder, and I'm not here to take any impact off of it. No parent should ever have to deal with this. No parent should ever have to bury their own child. And this is a tragic situation all over. Thoughts and prayers go out to the family, and this comes from somebody who's not even religious, you know. But there are a certain sect among us who are angry and upset because they felt that this didn't get enough media coverage, or the media coverage that they felt that he deserved, and moreover that they felt that there weren't people protesting about him or painting murals and things like that, like they were doing, say, George Floyd. So they've been trying to tie in George Floyd and Black Lives Matter to it. I'll get back to that in a moment. But my whole thing is, these people don't give a shit about Hinnant. Now, if their beef is with murdered children or murder victims in general, then why are they focused on this particular murder? And again, I'm not trying to take light off of it, but why are they focused on this particular murder instead of, say, James Alex Hurley, a 12-year-old boy from Montana who was tortured to death by his grandparents and his uncle? Why are they not outraged? Why are they not screaming this outrage about, say, Rachel Henry's 3 small children who were smothered to death by their own mother? Or what about young 3-week-old Michael Grabowski, who was found in a bucket of tar and whose parents reported him missing, but turned out that they were the ones who killed him? Or what about Shayna Rithaler, a 16-year-old girl with her whole life ahead of her, who was murdered by a 17-year-old boy that she met online? Or even beyond children, what about young Jennifer Gale Paxton, a homeless woman who was kidnapped, raped, tortured, mutilated, and murdered by a couple? So what's the difference between all these murders that I meant, all these 5 murders I just mentioned, and the killing of Hinnant? Well, Hinnant's killer was a black man. So naturally, that's why you have conservatives trying to make this to a race issue and tying this into the Black Lives Matter movement, because apparently they feel that George Floyd is all about white people killing black people, even though that's not the case. Now, first of all, it should be obvious the main difference between the George Floyd situation and the and Hinnant's murder. Hinnant's killer is in jail right now and is and will likely be convicted. He's going to get justice. That's why nobody's protesting about it. Meanwhile, George Floyd, on the other hand, he was murdered by law enforcement, and his killers weren't arrested until after the protest happened. And it's unclear if they'll be convicted. Also, anybody who is even remotely familiar with the BLM protest knows that this isn't just about George Floyd. That was just a straw that broke the camel's back. It's also about folks like Breonna Taylor, whose killers still haven't been arrested after 5 fucking months. It's also about Atiana Jefferson. It's also about 7-year-old Aiyana Jones, I forget if that's her last name, please forgive me, Sandra Bland, Tamir Rice, Philandro Castile, and so many others that have been murdered by law enforcement and have not received justice for it. So for them to even try to tie Hinnant's death into the Black Lives Matter protests is not only bullshit. It shows how little you care about his family and how little you respect his family, because you're out here trying to use their loved one's death. You try to politicize it, because even his own mom said that this had nothing to do with race. So, and you want to know you want to know more proof that that this isn't about Hinnant? I posted a thread on Twitter about this a couple Thursdays ago, and here are some. And I want to show you guys some of the responses that I got. Let's move this over here. See, I got the usual insults and shit. Now here you got this little thing. Stu trying to be cute by some movie footage with KKK gunning down people. And of course, this guy, and when this first went up, he tried to be slick about it and use a hard ER, but he changed, but apparently changed it, so now it's just the A. And then here you go with the racial slurs. I have personified a reason why decent humans usually hate niggers. And of course, there's the N word, all kinds of other racist shit. Not one of these people mentioned Hinnant other than mentioning like 5-year-old boy, and they also push that false narrative that it was a hate crime. So I'm not gonna go through all of this because we all know it's a bunch of bullshit. And there's actually one more thing that I have. Yeah, his and your deaf. So somebody even tried to make a wannabe death threat. Now, really, I'm not even tripping by any of that shit because it's like, as far as I'm concerned, like all these people on there, like they not real, they just hide behind an anonymous screen name and avatars and shit. But that just goes to prove my point. They don't care. They don't care about this young boy's death. They're just using him as ammunition against Black Lives Matter or George Floyd. So that's simply what it is. They really don't care about it's just like this current thing, like this so-called Save Our Children that's also going on social media. They don't care about actual human trafficking or child exploitation. They're just pushing a bunch of bullshit QAnon conspiracy theories like Wayfairgate and the whole Pizzagate bullshit. Like they ask any of them about all those young kids who are trapped in cages at the border, and I guarantee you that they won't care about them either. So now, yeah, there is a human exploitation. Now there is a child trafficking and a human trafficking problem, but it doesn't have. But I can guarantee you it has nothing to do with the QAnon bullshit that they've been pushing. So that's it. None of these people. So these people do not care about Hinnant or any other murdered child. They just think they simply played themselves by politicizing this young man's death and using his weapon to perpetuate their racism. So that's all it is. Anyway, that's it. I know this video is shorter than a lot more stuff that I put on this channel, but fuck it. Let me know what you think in the comments, or don't, or whatever. Click thumbs up, thumbs down, however you feel about it. Subscribe and click the bell icon if you want to see more videos like this. And also check out my gaming channel too if you like video games. It's listed in the description below, and I'll see you later.